Welcome to This Explainer. Look, if you're a focused learner trying to uncover this hidden digital economy of lucrative, off-hours online jobs, you are exactly where you need to be. Today, we're totally bypassing all that typical rehashed advice. We're diving straight into the data to expose a completely different job market. And the crazy part? This entire economy happens almost entirely while the rest of the world is fast asleep.
So let's tackle the elephant in the room right off the bat. Why does everyone keep saying the job market is completely frozen when literally thousands of high-paying online gigs are just sitting there, completely empty? Well, the truth is, everyone's just looking in the wrong places. They're staring at the frozen half of the job market, chasing whatever trend is hot, instead of looking where the real money hides. And here's the secret. The real money hides wherever there's a massive supply and demand imbalance. We're talking about the hours nobody else wants to work, the time zone gaps, the night shifts.
Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. 1. The hidden market. 2. The night watchers. 3. Digital builders. 4. Renting expertise. 5. Bug bounty hunters. And finally, 6. Launching your career. Let's get right into it.
Starting with Section 1, the hidden market, the off-hours economy.
Think of the traditional 9-to-5 market like a totally jammed highway during rush hour. It's crowded, there's insane competition, endless gatekeepers, rigid resume screens. It's just daytime hours where literally everyone is fighting tooth and nail for the exact same spot. But this hidden online market, it operates on entirely different rules. Because there's this massive demand for off-hour work, and honestly, an incredibly low supply of people willing to actually do it, the leverage completely flips to you. It's a pure meritocracy. You don't need the perfect pedigree or a fancy degree. You just need to be willing to tackle the work that piles up overnight.
Which brings us to Section 2, the night watchers, monitoring overnight.
Okay, so the crucial thing to understand here is that healthcare never, ever sleeps. But obviously, hospital staffing has its limits. Enter remote patient monitoring. You can kind of think of this job like being a virtual air traffic controller, but for someone's health. Basically, you sit in a quiet room, you're watching a screen full of blips that are tracking a patient's vitals, and your entire job is to catch the one blip that goes wrong and catch it before anyone else does. And those blips don't just magically stop at 5 p.m. Hospitals are desperately short-staffed right now, and they will pay a premium for this. We're talking a typical starting salary between $39,000 and $53,000 a year just for someone willing to monitor these screens overnight. The best part? You can do it completely remotely, often without any specialized medical degree.
But what if I told you the ceiling is actually much, much higher? Like $92,000 to $130,000 a year higher. Yeah, that is a massive jump in potential salary. And it belongs to our next category of night watchers. Welcome to the current tech gold rush, AI data annotation. Look, behind every single advanced AI model you use, there is a massive team of human experts actively training it. In this role, your job is to rate chatbot responses, review lines of code, or even solve complex STEM problems overnight so the AI can learn from your logic. Platforms out there like Outlier are paying up to $60 an hour for specialized tasks. Think chemistry or math, and others pay around $40 an hour just for coding. And hey, this isn't just theoretical. There's this documented video of a creator named Worm, and he recorded his entire 8-hour shift doing exactly this. You can literally make 6 figures just teaching AI from behind a screen while the rest of the world is snoring.
Moving on to Section 3, digital builders, no code and creativity.
Now, before you tell yourself, oh, I need a fancy computer science degree to build things online, check this out. Charisse, a student of a prominent designer, made $11,000 in a single month from web design. And get this, she was still working her regular 9-to-5 job. Her mentor, Becca Luna, she actually dropped out of high school and went from being an $11 an hour waitress to running a 7-figure no-code web design business in less than 5 years. Guys, they aren't the exceptions to the rule. They're the living proof of a massive structural shift in exactly how the internet is being built today.
And here's exactly how they pull it off. The most in-demand digital builder skills right now, they do not require you to write a single line of code. I mean, think of no-code web design like playing with digital Legos. Platforms like Showit, Squarespace, and Webflow have already created all the individual pieces for you. Your job is just knowing how to snap them together so they look amazing. Then you've got email marketing using platforms like Klaviyo. Businesses know for a fact that for every $1 they spend on email, they get roughly $40 in return. That is huge. They desperately need people to write and schedule these emails, often pushing them out to different global time zones right in the middle of the night.
Let's look a little closer at that third skill on the list, YouTube thumbnail design. When you do this, you are literally designing the absolute most crucial window display of the internet. Think about it. You have maybe a quarter of a second to stop someone from mindlessly scrolling on their phone. If that window display doesn't stop them dead in their tracks, the video inside doesn't even matter. Top thumbnail designers like David Alzer pull in over $100,000 a year. They're charging upwards of $500 per single image for massive creators. You're getting paid for your grasp of human psychology here. Definitely not a college degree.
All right, Section 4, renting expertise. Leverage your knowledge.
There is an entire hidden sub-economy out there that almost nobody talks about. Expert network consultants are making roughly $96,000 to $177,000 a year by, well, simply getting on the phone. Seriously, platforms like GLG and Alpha Sites connect massive hedge funds and private equity firms with regular, everyday industry professionals. Think of yourself as like a translator at a global summit. You don't make the policy, you just happen to be the only person in the room who actually speaks the complex language of your specific industry. These funds will pay massive hourly rates just to ask you questions about the day job you already do. And because these clients are totally global, these calls often land right in your evening hours. Perfect for a side hustle.
Next up, Section 5, Bug Bounty Hunters. Digital Meritocracy.
Now you have to hear this incredible story. Santiago Lopez earned his very first bounty at just 16 years old. He went on to make over $1 million on HackerOne before he even turned 20. And the kicker? He was completely self-taught. Bug bounty hunting works exactly like being a digital locksmith. A massive corporation basically hands you the address to their systems and says, hey, try every door, try every window, jiggle every latch. If you get in, we pay you. If you don't, we sleep better at night. Literally nobody asks the locksmith where they went to school. They only ask if the door opened. It's a world with zero gatekeepers, zero interviews, and just pure, skill-based reward.
Okay, let's pause for a second and map all this out so you can see exactly which of these hidden paths actually fits your current situation. If you want a really low barrier to entry tonight, patient monitoring is definitely your starting point. If you want to build project-based wealth, no-code web design is medium difficulty but highly lucrative. Now, if you have a STEM background, that AI data annotation track pays an incredible $92,000 to $130,000. Expert networks, those require deep experience in a specific field. And bug bounties require highly specialized self-taught skills. But the absolute beauty of this hidden economy is that there is a lane for absolutely everyone, regardless of where you're starting from today.
Finally, Section 6, launching your career. Actionable steps.
So how do you actually skip all those annoying gatekeepers and land these online jobs? Well, here is the exact 3-step playbook. Step 1, learn one platform deeply. Seriously, don't try to be just decent at 10 things. Be world-class at one, whether that's Klaviyo for emails, Webflow for websites, or HackerOne for finding bugs. Step 2, build a free or imaginary portfolio. Do it for your friends, do it for totally fake businesses. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares if the client was real. They only care that the work itself is exceptional. And step 3, cold email clients. In the digital economy, cold outreach is the ultimate equalizer. If your portfolio proves that you can solve their specific problem, they are going to hire you on the spot.
I want to leave you with this final, absolutely vital thought. The biggest barrier keeping people out of this hidden economy, it isn't a lack of skills, and it sure isn't a lack of fancy degrees. It's pride. People turn their noses up at working the weird off hours, or doing those tedious annotation tasks, or designing simple little thumbnails. But as the data clearly shows us, pride doesn't pay the bills. The massive leverage belongs to the people who are willing to do what others won't, exactly when others won't. So my final question to you is this. The night shift of the internet is wide open, and it is highly lucrative. So what are you willing to build tonight?